get weak. All of us are talking about improving our immunity during COVID times. Let's learn together the root cause of our weak immune system and natural therapies that can help you. I am Amita from NourishTalk, a platform for natural, holistic, and integrative therapies. Presenting this topic, we have Vaidya Kanika Verma, an Ayurveda physician and a psychotherapist. Vaidya Verma is a specialist in Ritucharya consultation, which is like a seasonal therapy in Ayurveda. And she's also an expert on Sattva Vijay, which is an Ayurveda mental health. Welcome, Dr. Verma, to our show. Hello, Dr. Verma, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, welcome to NourishTalk and this session. Hello.
Okay. Hi. Yes, I'm there only. I'm not. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. Are you able to hear me?
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us. Let's just start with the immune system and how does it work?
Okay. Yes. So basically, our immune system is there's a natural mode, the relaxed mode of body, in which everything functions in a completely balanced manner. But when we are stressed, I personally believe that stress or any kind of anxiety, any kind of negative emotion like anger or worry, frustration, depression, all these emotions basically have a huge impact on the body. According to Ayurveda, the body emerges from the mind. It is a reflection of the mind. So anything that is inside the mind will naturally reflect on the body. And in this way, if you have anger, we talk about three dosha concept in Ayurveda. There are three dosha, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And all these dosha are basically, they are systems of the body that are very strongly affected by brain, by what you're thinking. If you are anxious or if you are afraid, your Vata will get imbalanced. And if you're angry, your Pitta will get imbalanced. And if you're too, frozen with fear or something, or any kind of lethargy, then your Kapha will get imbalanced. So all these, basically any kind of disease, there are two fields of disease in Ayurveda. One is mind and another is body. And the first field of any disease, the field where the crops grow, we can say like the field where the diseases can grow.
Yeah.
The mind is the primary field for disease. If the disease has already grown in your mind, it will then start growing in the body. And I have seen people who have horrible lifestyle, horrible food, but they are still so healthy that it is so surprising. They are healthy, and also we'll all find people who are extremely conscious of their health, extremely conscious about their lifestyle, and still they're sick or they don't feel healthy, because there is some kind of problem inside their mind which naturally reflects in their body. And that is why you see there is a concept in modern medicine which is parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system. And these two types of nervous system, they actually help the body to react to different kinds of situations. If you look at sympathetic nervous system, now we can equate this with Ida and Pingala Nadi in Ayurvedic concept. However, we'll talk about it later. Now, the sympathetic nervous system, it is a response against any kind of emergency situation. For example, if you see a lion in front of you, your sympathetic nervous system will get activated, your conscious brain will shut down, and your automated response, just like a robot, you'll start running without thinking. You don't have to think then. So you see, and it affects all the systems of the body. For example, your digestive system. Now, the need of an emergency mode is to supply more blood, more energy to muscles and so that we can run. Okay. And therefore this blood is sucked up from other systems like digestive system, like you see the excretory system. You will not think about a nature's call or about food. If you are in an emergency situation, you just start running. So this, a person who stays in this mode. Now the problem is, like, this mode, earlier when we were like a cavemen, this mode was there to protect us from all kind of problems that uh, you might face. Like, for example, you might actually meet a lion if you're a caveman. But today we are not that. We are not in that situation. But still, this mode is there. For example, if your boss is angry with you, you will get into the sympathetic mode. Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no need for it because you don't need to run in your office. There's no need to run in your office, right? So you need to have a conscious mind. You need to have conscious mind and solve the problem, whatever is there. But the point is that this system again gets activated and it shuts down the conscious mind and starts supplying blood to your muscles, because this is a primitive response. Now, a person who is under constant stress due to his office work or due to family relationship, whatever, gradually what happens, his digestive system gets less blood every day. So it's not, see, all kinds of mental, this mental field, it takes a long time to reflect on the physical field. So if you are stressed continuously, unfortunately, even children are stressed today, because of their exams or their peer pressure and so on and so forth. So what happens now, if you look at 16 years of age, from 16 years of age, you are continuously being stressed because of several reasons. And your digestive system, your excretory system, your basic systems are being deprived of nutrition, of blood supply on a constant basis every day. So it is beyond doubt that by the time you're 45, you'll obviously have all kind of lifestyle disorders, because your pancreas will not be functioning, your liver will not be functioning, because they have been suppressed. Sympathetic mode, the hormonal system, it suppresses all the functions, all the normal functions of the body. And this is what is happening today. I personally believe my grandfather was much healthier than my father. My grandmother, they were like people who lived up to 90 years, 90 plus years without any problem, without any diabetes, without any. And today I see my mother and all her counterparts, and then I see there's so many problems they have, because these people have faced much more stress than the previous generation. And obviously there were other factors, like they had a better lifestyle. All my grandparents used to wake up by 4 o'clock in the morning, which was not the practice in the next generation. But I think stress was the biggest factor. Now, this is the part of sympathetic nervous system. Let us look at parasympathetic nervous system. This parasympathetic nervous system is relax and repair mode. And ideally, the body should stay in this mode forever. People who don't age. I mean, if you really want to stop aging, you don't need to put cream. You need to activate this system so that your skin will rejuvenate. I would say that, parasympathetic nervous system, everything starts with the center. And the center of our metabolism, according to Ayurveda, is Agni. Agni means digestive system. Because digestive system is the core of our existence. We receive nutrition, and then this nutrition sustains the entire body. So if your digestive system is suppressed, obviously you're going to fall sick. There is actually no way. And there is a very beautiful saying in Ayurveda, is that if you do not have proper mindset and lifestyle, there is no need of any medicine, because the medicine will not have any effect. So if you are not peaceful, if you're not calm, then even medicines will not have any effect. And that is why in my practice, personally, I use medicines that help the person to relax. Because if he is not relaxed, most of the people are not relaxed. In fact, 99%, I have used such medicines even on a child of 12 years, and then I saw immediate results because the child was not relaxed because of a lot of factors. So so we need to now I believe is that everyone, the first thing they should do to stay healthy is to meditate. I personally have been meditating for past 20 years, and I have not had any Ayurvedic medicine. I don't buy any Ayurvedic medicine. I don't eat any health supplements, but I completely sustain on fasting and meditation, and uh, and I've seen tremendous results with it. Tremendous. Only
That's
meditation. Yeah, and there's a specific institute called Heartfulness Institute, and they are doing a research on meditation, and they have seen tremendous results of meditation on cancer patients. On multiple in multiple fronts like chemotherapy pain and so on, and the speed of their rejuvenation and the toxic effects of medicines. They have been they've discovered that all these factors come down drastically once the patient starts meditating, and that is only because the parasympathetic nervous system starts functioning. The body starts, we cannot heal the body. There is this core concept which I personally believe in, that we cannot heal the body. The body can heal itself.
Mhm.
The body heals itself, and if we can just ensure that the body is able to heal itself, then there is no need for any medicine, and that we can do just by controlling our mind, just by balancing the mind. And before balancing, now everybody is talking about dosha balance. Let us balance vata dosha, let us balance pitta dosha, but nobody talks about uh, the mental dosha. There are three types of guna. Actually, the uh, if you look at Ayurvedic genesis, first the mind is formed, and then the mind forms the body. So there are three guna in mind, and I believe everyone must have heard about it: sattva, raja, and tama.
Yes.
So these sattva, raj, and tam then translate themselves into dosha, vata, pitta, and kapha. And therefore, everything, all the dosha imbalance basically has to be somewhere, has to has root in this sattva, raj, and tam. So basically, if you are balanced, if you have a balanced mind, the root cause will not be there. There will be no seed of disease. The seed of disease has to be first in the mind, and then only it can reflect in the body. So this is something which I very sincerely believe, and in fact, I think we should all do a research on it.
So on the mind qualities you're talking about, that really balancing the mind, so three gunas that you're talking about: sattva, tamasa, and rajas, right? These are the three ones.
Okay.
So everyone has to go into the sattva one, the sattvic mind, not the other two minds.
Correct. See, if you look at sattva means balance.
Yes.
Now, if you look at raja means hyperactivity, any kind of hyperactivity. And tamas means inactivity. So both hyperactivity and inactivity are not desirable. Balance is desirable. And if we look at this Ayurvedic method of treatment or anything, there's one word that constantly comes is samya. Samya means balance. It doesn't say increase vata or decrease vata, bring vata to balance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about increase, decrease, or anything. And balance, this is so beautiful. Balance is individual. I mean, your balance will be different. My balance will be different. When you walk, you will walk in a different way. When I walk in a different way. So the balance is completely personal. And that is why the healing has to come from inside. So see, that's what. Now let us go to immunity. What happens if your digestive system is weak? Now it is being stressed for years on, and it has become weak. This digestive system is door to not only nutrition but also to pathogens. Right. First thing, okay, let us consider that when the digestive system is weak, what happens to nutrition? If your digestive system is weak, then the nutrition will not be processed properly. Your food will not get digested properly. You will not have enough acid to break down food. if there is not enough acid, if there's not enough bile juice, the food, we have a hot body. The food rots outside the body. Inside, it is much more hotter. So it rots. The food rots inside the body, and that's why we have bloating and all kinds of problems. If you do not have enough acid, you will produce more toxins inside the body rather than nutrition. So basically, you are eating to produce toxins and not nutrition, because you have a weak digestive system, because you are stressed, and this continues for years to produce all kinds of disorders. You see, another point is,
so what you're saying, I just want to summarize for our viewers a little bit. So basically, stress is the cause of the weak digestion, is what we're saying. Then
yes,
we have,
yes,
right? We have the sympathetic nervous system. Then we feel the bloating. We have the tiredness, the anxiety, all the issues that you.
Absolutely. You know what? Another thing is, first of all, you will have toxins in your body. Second thing is that the pathogens, the first defense is skin, obviously, and then the pathogens, when they enter inside the body, the third line of defense is stomach. Whatever oral pathogens that we take with along with food or with anything, they go to stomach and they're burnt because of that acid that is present. But if that acid is not ample, it will not be able to kill those pathogens. And therefore, your body will become a very, very convenient host for all these pathogens. And this Agni, this digestive system, is not the central digestive system. It's not only about the stomach and the intestine. According to Ayurveda, there are 13 types of digestive systems in our body, 13 types of Agni.
Yeah.
And they work at all levels. They work on your skin. They work on your, they work on your muscles. They work in your blood. Everywhere there is transformation and, pathogenesis. I mean, kind of killing the pathogens is going on all levels. So all these 13 levels become weak because the core level becomes weak, and then that weakness is transferred to all levels on the body. And that is why
that translates into the low immunity. I mean, that's what now we are seeing in the COVID-19. We are saying improve your immunity, right? So right, this is the root cause of what you're saying is the stress, and then stress causes low, very slow digestion or wrong, and then that together couples itself into the sympathetic nervous system, which is a result of all the other issues, right?
Correct.
That's what.
Correct. Absolutely. See, what happens is, like, because of this because of the sympathetic nervous system, the repair and rejuvenation doesn't happen. And our body is transformed every day. Look at a child. The rate of transformation is very fast. The rate of rejuvenation is very fast, and that's why children, they look so pretty. They have such beautiful skin because their cells are getting changed at a much faster rate. But as we grow older, and if we are stressed, the rate of repair is reduced, and rate of repair is so you look at your pancreas of a stressed person. It will not be repaired every day. It is getting all kind of toxins to digest and everything, but it is not getting repaired. Your liver is not getting repaired. Your respiratory system is not getting repaired. So you see, if you look at COVID-19, most of the people who died because of this coronavirus are above 60 years of age. And above 60 years of age, your rate of repair is very low. You do not rejuvenate your organs. So your organs become weak and they become vulnerable to these viruses. So, and look at this. This is such a beautiful thing that COVID-19 has shown us, that there are some people, they are infected, okay, but they will have no symptoms because their immunity is strong. So they were able to develop the defense against virus, and the virus is there in the body, but it is not able to break that link of metabolism. It's not able to enter inside the metabolism. So, let's say there are some terrorists in the country and law and order situation is very good. So they are not able to break into the system and do some kind of nuisance. But then there is another country where there's no law and order, people are not aware, and there, the criminal elements can create such a havoc. So it has to be the immunity has to come from inside the body. You cannot put in health supplements and you're gonna do. I personally believe a person who is meditating will have a far better immunity than anyone who is eating ashwagandha, shatavari, all this. You see, yeah, seriously, because I see so much of things. I'm not. There are so many ashwagandha brands that I will never think of buying. The buying them will give me stress, so I will not buy them. They're anti-nutrition. So you see,
So that's actually funny the way you said it. There's so many the brands out there, and people, all of us as end user, including myself, we don't understand. So we just say, oh, let's buy Triphala, let's buy Ashwagandha, let's do this. So we start doing all this, loading up all these things, because of lack of knowledge. So let's talk about, what happens when it's parasympathetic system. What should happen in an ideal state, and that's what I think.
yeah, there's a very, very beautiful concept in Ayurveda called Achara Rasayan. First of all, I'll tell you a little bit about Rasayan. Rasayan is a concept in Ayurveda. Nowadays, they have, there have been a lot of scientific studies on Ashwagandha, Shatavari, Brahmi, and all these herbs. And there's a new term coined for them, which is called adaptogens. Now, these adaptogens, they have a unique quality to normalize all functions of body. Irrespective, they can normalize everything, which is like magic. Ashwagandha, if you take ashwagandha, it will normalize everything in the body. It will not work specifically on liver and specifically on pancreas. It will normalize everything. These herbs are termed rasayan in Ayurveda. Okay, and the best rasayan is achar rasayan. Achar means behavior. Behavior is the best rasayan, is the best health supplement. So behavior of mind and behavior of body. So the concept of achar rasayan, it's there in all classical texts, Charak Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, you take it. So it says that a person who doesn't lie, a person who has a lot of patience, and who is not greedy. A lot of stress comes from greed.
Yes.
Who doesn't get angry, who speaks positively, speaks nicely, who doesn't think of hurting people, that person is following achar rasayan, and that person will never fall sick. It is actually said that person will never fall sick, and I can imagine a beautiful soul like this will actually never fall sick, because there will be no stress, because a person who is not greedy, not running after things, and not hating people will not create that kind of nervous signals in his body that will translate into hormonal imbalance and affect all his system. So you see, good things come to good people. That is actually true. So
very true. Very true.
Yeah, and it happens immediately. Now it has been researched that if you think one positive thought, it positively affects your body, it positively affects your system, it calms down your system. You look at a positive song or positive movie, you feel good, immediately start feeling good. Many people have alleviation from pain when they see something positive and you hear something positive. And you see, that's why now I believe that all these Baba, there are millions of spiritual teachers in India. They are basically doing the role of psychotherapist, because we cannot afford psychotherapy, individual psychotherapy in India. They have been taken up this role, and now I actually understand their value, because when people go to their ashram or anything, they have relief from most of their symptoms. Why? Because they are de-stressed. They stop feeling pain. They feel, oh my God, this is magic. This Babaji has done something to me. But basically, it is their own body that is, getting healed. It's healing itself in a proper environment, which was missing earlier. So basically,
Yeah, no, that. I think that's a beautiful thought. What you said is that all the, we talk about yogis and on old scriptures we see in India, the Maharishis, and then people generally going and they bless them and they put a hand on them and suddenly they're healed. And I think all of us in today's day and age are so stressed out that we need an outside person to calm us down, in whichever way you want to. And it happens in all the cultures. It's not only in Hindu culture, but it happens in all the cultures. Religion and other things come into play, and help us help the calming system of our mind. So let's just summarize a little bit on, let's say, if a parasympathetic system, what you were talking about earlier, a resting state, what would happen in that state?
Can you please repeat it?
The parasympathetic system, what you were talking about, that we need to reach to that. So at that time, in the parasympathetic system, if we achieve that, what happens? Like, we would have a normal mind, a normal state. That's what I'm trying to understand.
So you see, I love this example of terrorist. You see a country. Okay, let's take the example of this coronavirus. There is lockdown, and all the facilities are focused on delivering basic food stuff, basic medical care, like all this. And what is happening to our economy? It's going down all the way, right? So this is what happens in a person who is stressed, because all his supplies are going to muscles, all his supplies are going to this automatic brain that tells him to run away and all that. But in a situation when this coronavirus is down, like it's gone, then what will happen? Things will normalize. People will start going out. The economy will start functioning again. People will start, going to their jobs. They'll start spending. Everything will normalize, right? So this is exactly what happens in parasympathetic nervous system. Now, when you're in parasympathetic nervous system, best thing that happens, your digestion improves immediately. You see, when you're stressed, you don't feel hungry. And the problem is people eat maximum when they're stressed. They eat all sweets and everything. That is so dangerous. But when you are relaxed, when you are peaceful, I think you feel better hunger, better quality of hunger. And that is the point when you start digesting, when you actually start absorbing proper nutrition from food. You see, I've seen people who can live on a banana whole day and work like crazy. Why? Because how much we absorb from our food is hardly like 2 to 3%. Rest is all thrown away. But there are some people who have such high absorption rate that they can absorb, like, even if they absorb like 15-20% of a banana, that's more than enough. So basically, you see, it's all about absorption and digestion. What we do today is we put in more and more load of health supplements. Okay, the body is not digesting, give it more. But then that should not be the case. I just want to give an example of a child who doesn't like to study. So, if you are stressed, your digestive system is like a child who doesn't want to study. So doesn't matter you give him all quality books, quality tutor, everything, because he's not interested, right? So it will not work. But there are children, and I believe every one of us must have seen that children who study, who do wondrous things without any resources, because they are willing. So when in parasympathetic nervous system, let's understand our digestive system is willing to digest the food. It is willing to digest the food. It's ready to digest the food. It is ready to absorb the food and all these things when this basic function starts running properly. Now imagine the nutrition is going to all the parts of your body. It's going like proper nutrition is going to all parts of your body. All parts of your body are in the vibrant mode of metabolism, just like the vibrant mode of a child. The rate of metabolism is so fast that the skin of a child is changed every day. If you have that, rate of metabolism. You need to have that kind of digestive system to support that rate of metabolism. And if you achieve that, your organs will be repaired faster. You will age less. You will not age. I mean, like, if you look at people who look younger, I have a personal experience that normally happy people look younger, because the rate of metabolism is so fast that the skin gets repaired very fast, you see. And that's why they don't have that all the black marks and everything. So this is the way, and this is what happens in the ideal mode. Your system is relaxed, you are repairing everything fast, you're doing everything fast, and that is the foundation of a great immune system.
Great. So let's talk about, I think we need to wrap up real quick, almost time. So let's talk about in the final moments, what exactly you talked about, a concept of Achar Rasayana. Right. So how do we achieve that? If you can just help the viewers, you talked about the fasting and the mindfulness, meditation. So let's talk, what can they do? What can a normal person do to achieve that?
Yes, actually, for a person who's stressed, he has to go from the body to the mind, because immediately achieving this is not possible. So I believe personally fasting is a very good method, because fasting removes the stress from, first of all, it removes the stress from your digestive system, gives it time to repair, gives the entire body time to repair, because there's no extra food, there's no extra workload. And besides, fasting has an immediate calming effect on the brain also. So intermittent fasting is, I will highly recommend intermittent fasting as the first step for anyone who wants to achieve this Achar Rasayana. Because other steps, they work on mental level, and sometimes it becomes very difficult for them to, it takes a longer time to achieve. But fasting can give you immediate result. Then, there's some small things in life, like personally, decluttering helped me a lot. I follow this. I don't know if you've heard about Marie Kondo.
Yes.
So I followed that. Yeah. So it helped me, that decluttering process helped me relax. And, when you declutter your house, it somehow reflects in decluttering your mind also. So this is one way. Then there's very, very small things that you can add in your daily routine as a start. You can add mealtime prayers. I mean, this is such a beautiful thing. Every religion advocates this, that you should pray before mealtime, because the prayer has a relaxing effect. If you really put your thought to the words, that, I'm grateful for this food, I'm happy with this food, all these things, they put you in a relaxed mode. They switch on your parasympathetic nervous system, they switch on your digestive system. And that is the time you can actually absorb the food. They can actually digest the food. So, these are small things, mealtime prayers. When you wake up in the morning, you say, I'm so happy to be alive. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the beautiful thing, for all the things that I have. This secret, everyone must have heard about law of attraction. So when you're grateful for things, more beautiful things come to you. So when you're grateful, you're actually switching on this parasympathetic nervous system that starts to repair your body. And if you're grateful for your health, if you're feeling good, then your health will be much better, because health does not come from health supplements. It comes from inside the body. And I would underline this. You don't need health supplements. You need a peaceful mind for amazing health.
That's amazing. And you did talk about the mindfulness and meditation earlier, right?
Mindfulness.
Everyone should meditate and and fasting. So I think we just are pressed for time a little bit. It's actually a really good conversation that we're having, Vaidya Verma. I think we'll bring you back for a group therapy session because these are something that a lot of people need to know what you're talking about and how it helps to with our body, the mind and body connection. So in our final things, anything that you would like to add before I wrap up?
Yes, one more thing is like I tried mindfulness. I mean, I tried meditation for almost 20 years, but mindfulness, I believe, is much more easier to follow because in mindfulness, you don't need to, uh, don't need to set up a time. Like for 1 hour, I'll meditate for 30 minutes. It becomes very difficult for most of the people today. But mindfulness is like instant. So if you have to choose between meditation and mindfulness, if you don't have time, go for mindfulness, and you will have an immediate effect in your body and your mind. So that's my suggestion.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much for being with us. And I want to thank you for coming. And I hope the viewers learned something, you know, how mind and body are connected. I think we've learned a lot in a lot of research, but work on your mind. That's what Vaidya Kanika is telling us. And the body will also automatically heal itself. With that, I want to thank you so much for coming here. And thank you so much. And namaste.
Yeah, namaste.